Hello, my name is Danny, and 10 years ago I suffered with postpartum psychosis and postnatal depression. 10 years ago. Wow, my son has just celebrated his 10th birthday, and honestly, it was such like a milestone. I never thought I'd ever see the day where he would be 10, and I have to pinch myself all the time thinking, oh my gosh, you've literally have made it through this massive thing. So apologies for the lighting and the sound or whatever. I don't do this, so this is a one-off. But 10 years ago I also posted a few videos. I don't know if anyone can remember, where I detailed my journey with postpartum psychosis, and they are still on the internet all these years later. Like, you can still search that up. And it's so, I was watching the videos, and I just spurred me to come on here to just give everyone a bit of an update, and just give anyone words of encouragement. If you've had a baby and you're going through this, or you know someone who's going through this, then I would watch with caution, because I might go into a few little details. I don't want to trigger anybody, but at the same time, I want to encourage people that you can come out the other end of this. It does get better with the right help, with the right support, with the right medication. You can beat this horrendous nightmare you're in, and it will get better. I promise, because I remember one of my biggest memories is thinking, I'm always going to be treading through mud. I'm never going to be fully better. And to be honest, like, I'm not fully better, like, but who is? There's no such thing. And what I have done is learn to manage things in a better way. So anyway, enough of the vagueness, Danny. Let's get into it. So so postpartum psychosis, what is it? It's an illness that affects 1 to 2 in 1,000 women who give birth. So it's an extremely rare illness, and it's not talked about much, and is not there's quite a lot of stigma around it. Well, it was when I had it. I'd never heard of the thing, so I really hope that people are more aware of it, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to go through everything. So when I was pregnant with a little boy, and I was really happy. I was really excited to be a mum. I gave birth, and that's when things started to go awry. I started presenting quite strangely from what I usually am. Started to have dark thoughts, which sort of turned into starting to see things, hear things, and believe things that weren't real. I started to hallucinate images of quite dark things, which left a massive scar on me, and I was absolutely terrified of my own thoughts. It was horrendous, the worst thing I've ever gone through in my entire life. And they say, you know, being a mum, it should be the best time in your life. And I still to this day get jealous of seeing parents who I know it's really hard and I know it's so tiring, but they're just in this newborn bubble and they're getting to know their child in a really special way. And it just wasn't like that for me. I was put into a mental health ward, a psychiatric ward, when my baby was 4 days old. And I stayed there for 4 days where my delusions got worse, my thoughts got worse. I was on 24-hour observation for my own and others' safety, because I was unfortunately getting thoughts of hurting myself, hurting other people. And the biggest thought I had, or delusion I had, was that I was put in jail because I had done the worst to my baby. So I just it's really hard to talk about even 10 years later. It's not easy because it's like I'm describing another person. It's like it's not me that it happened to. Breathe. So yeah, so it was really difficult. And then I had to go in an ambulance up to a hospital in London, which was a specialist mother and baby unit. At the time, there was no specialist mother and baby unit in Wales. This has changed now, which is brilliant. But at the time, I did have to go a really long way to get the right support that I needed to get better. And I was reunited with my baby. At the time, I thought it wasn't my baby. I thought it was another person's baby, and I had just been given the baby to look after. Obviously, with the right medication, with the right therapies, I then later understood, no, this is my baby. This is okay. Like, I'm not well. I'm in a hospital. And I gradually got better. But it was the worst and the hardest fight of my life. And it was the scariest time of my life. So if anyone's going through it, or you know anyone that's going through it, my heart goes out to you. And you just got to keep on putting one foot in front of the other. So I got discharged from hospital and moved back to South Wales. And that's when the real challenge happened, where I had to go back into society after this massive life event happened. And I had really bad postnatal depression. I was also diagnosed with maternal OCD and PTSD following the psychosis, because it was a really dark psychosis I was in. And yeah, I was highly medicated. I tried so hard to be better, and I have done for the last 10 years. But it took a long time for me to feel stable. And postnatal depression is horrific. I lost all confidence in my abilities. I didn't feel like I was a good mom. I didn't feel like I was in the room even. I didn't feel present. I felt like a zombie, and I felt like I just felt like I was a waste of time. Like, it was no point in any of this, and I wasn't feeling the bond with my baby, and I wasn't feeling what I was thinking. What is everyone else doing that I'm not doing? How are they feeling so good and I feel so horrendous? every day. And it's this sort of lie in society, I think, where you feel like you've got to be perfect, the perfect mum. You've got to be happy all the time that you've got this baby. And it is hard. It's so difficult, and you might not feel that connection, and that's okay. It took me, and I'm being really honest, it took me years before I fully enjoyed parenting. Like it was horrific. And when they're young, you're in the trenches. You just don't know what's happening. So yeah, I had a lot of shame, I had a lot of guilt, and I was not getting better. So I was thinking, gosh, I should be feeling better, and I wasn't. I was still feeling suicidal. I was still having all these horrible thoughts. There was a few incidences that I won't go into, but I did act upon those thoughts as well. And my life was just always up and down, always up and down, completely erratic, completely unstable. And yeah, that was just my life. And then one day, me and my baby's dad had split up at this point, so I moved back in with my mum, and I was thinking, oh, I'm better now. I must be better. It's been 5 years. I'm gonna come off all my medication. I'm gonna come off all my medication because surely I'm better now. You know, it's been 5 years since I was in hospital. So that's what I did. I came off my medication in the March. By the October, I was sectioned, and I was put back in hospital, having suffered a manic episode, and I was diagnosed with bipolar. So 50% of people that go through postpartum psychosis have bipolar. It's just, and it's awful, because I was thinking, I'm not one of these people. I haven't got bipolar. That's something crazy people have. No, hen, you've got bipolar. And it's not something to be laughed at, because it's the worst thing in the world at many times in my life. You know, it's not easy, but I use humour as a way of coping, as you can tell. So I was in hospital for a month in 2021, having suffered a manic episode. I was diagnosed with bipolar. And since then, I've just tried to develop a relationship with my brain where and my mind, where I start to recognize episodes. So bipolar is an illness, a mental illness, a severe mental illness where you, like the weather, you have lows, which is the rain, and you have highs, which is sunny. You can't control the weather, it just happens to you, and it can happen over a period of weeks or months, or even, and I feel like the 5 years between my son being born and me being diagnosed, it was just a constant wave of episodes. It's a blur. I cannot remember a lot of it. So yeah, and I was put on the correct medication eventually, and it has been about 2 years since I've had either a depressive episode or a manic episode, and I think that's something to be really proud of. I've always got to keep a check of myself, because every time I think, oh, I'm feeling a lot better, sometimes that's not me being better, that's me going into another episode. So I've always got to check myself, and even making this video, I probably will never post it, but if I did post it, I've got to check with myself, because this is something I don't normally do, whether I'm acting normally or not. I feel normal, I feel really stable. I'm putting this out there to create awareness. So yeah, so that's the update. My son is 10. He lives with me half the time, and our bond is so strong. I just thought I'd give you guys an update because I haven't posted in years, and I was looking through those old videos, and it broke my heart for that girl, because I was 24, 25 when I made those videos, and I just want to hug me so much and just tell me that things will get better. Like, you will feel peace, you will feel strong, and yeah, things get better.